welcome back to the Real Talk. Good evening. I am Lavi Gumbs, and it is such a beautiful, beautiful evening right down here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I am so excited to be back here at 98.9 WINN FM to present to you nothing but real issues on the Real Talk with Lavi. Tonight, I have in the studios with me none other than Benji, and he will be joining us as we create the topic as we focus on boundaries right here in our Federation, St. Kitts and Nevis. One of the boundaries we're going to be talking about is smoking, and as you know, boundaries, basically we're talking about customer service, anything that can help make our people better, make our country greater, and we're moving with St. Kitts and Nevis greatness. That is why everyone wants to run to St. Kitts and Nevis. So tonight, our topic basically going to be boundaries, especially when it comes to smoking. And when I say smoking, cigarette smoking, ganja, weed, marijuana, joint, whatever you want to call it, we're talking about having boundaries right here in St. Kitts and Nevis, especially when it comes to smoking. So once again, if you're just in tune, I am Lavi Gumbs, and I'm here tonight with you once again with the Real Talk. If you're just listening, you just tune in and you come across this page or you're under the sounds of the radio, wherever you are, this is a show that brings nothing but what is happening in St. Kitts and Nevis that can basically help, to strengthen us in so many different ways by bringing the real issues. It is a non-political show. We're not affiliated with no politicians. And if anyone know Lavi Gumbs, I bring it straight up. I have my political preference, you should. It is your democratic rights. But this evening, like I said, I just want to focus on bringing positive issues that we can relate to. And, we can maybe take our emotions out of it and really start to be positive and want to really be a part of the change right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So good evening, Facebook. Good evening, YouTubers. Good evening, Instagram. Good evening, Radio Land. Good evening, St. Kitts and Nevis, the Caribbean, wherever you are. I know you guys like me to be calling all the names. I know you're listening. It's a very short show. But I also got to let you guys know that tonight we are welcoming phone calls. And the phone calls, we are basically sticking on the issues, people. When you come in, if you want to call and you want to bring something positive, because when it comes to smoking in St. Kitts and Nevis, we need some boundaries. There's a lot of non-smokers. It's not everybody want people to be puffing these kind of things in front of them. There's a lot of people suffering from asthma. There's a lot of people suffering from allergies like myself. Man, if you want to roll up your spliff and you want to just go in your corner and you take your fingers and you, however you don't roll it, do it alone or do it with your friends, And I have to say this to people. Anytime I bring any topic here, it has nothing to do with attacking anyone. It has nothing with any, like I said, political affiliation, religious affiliation. But it is what is happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and persons are reaching out to me and asking me to, bring these topics to the forefront because it is affecting many of us. For instance, smoking. You have some of the businesses, especially over on the strip. Tourists are meeting me, people, because, I never even realized how many tourists are listening. Sometimes we just think it's just locals. But remember, Real Talk is also on the internet. And people will just, bounce in and just see something, just like a feed come up, and they will see Real Talk. And some people, getting curious and they want to know what is happening down here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And the tourists are basically talking to Lavi. Yes, people, tourists. There are people that are going out to the strip, going to some of these restaurants, and they are basically don't want to go to some of these restaurants because of people freely walking in and sitting down and just rolling the spliff. And that is not cool. So I have here none other than my right hand, and he's very objective as well. And so tonight, even though we're here, we're not any buddies like that. And I'm kind of happy for that because we're just here, man to woman, bringing it real. And we're just going to be here to bring whatever positive to our beautiful federation. Tonight, I want to introduce to you none other than Mr. Benjamin. But he will adjust his name because he got so much names I can't keep up with him. So good evening.
Good night, Lavi. Thanks for having me again. It's good to be back in the federation again. It's like I can't keep out of St. Kitts. I keep going and coming back. But yeah, I'm glad to be here. And tonight is going to be one of them interesting nights because, yes, I can be a very objective person at times. But I think it's going to be a good show. So thanks for having me.
I hope you won't be one of those that, you know, they have some people objective and they don't even know why they're being objective.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, I know that you are in law enforcement. You're a mature man. You live across the waters for many years. So I know we're basically going to do nothing but the best by, you know, bringing it real. So, Benji, I know this is not your first time here.
Right.
There's a lot of persons out there listening, and sometimes people want to put a name, a voice to the person. You care to tell the people a little bit about you or your backgrounds and maybe who you're from or where you actually hail from?
So, yes, Lavi, I'm a son of the soil, a proud one too.
Absolutely.
And I've been fortunate to live abroad. I miss St. Kitts, so I try to come home as much as I can. I am recently retired. I did some stints in law enforcement here in St. Kitts many years ago, and then I had the opportunity to go to the U.S. and do some things out there in the military and law enforcement. So, you know, I love it. I love it.
All right. So what were you doing here in St. Kitts before you left? What kind of recreation you used to do? Did you leave a name here in St. Kitts? I mean, you tell us about your leave from here. You went over there, yes. Well, what kind of name you left here in St. Kitts before you leave?
I'm just a regular Joe.
Okay, so regular.
So I did sports. I did some sports. Even though I'm from Bastia, I actually went to Sandy Point High School.
Okay. What part of Bastia, by the way?
I'm from up in the Shadwell area.
Shadwell area.
Yeah. So
okay.
I actually went to Sandy Point High School at the time, which is now called SEMS.
Yes.
And you know, back in that time, you know, we were very involved with sports. And like kids now will have the iPhone and the PlayStations and all of that. So we had to do sports.
Leave the kids alone. You just say it was an ordinary man, you ain't do nothing.
but what I'm saying is, so yeah, I did some, I did track and field. I played basketball. I played football. As a matter of fact, I was fortunate to play some first class football with police when they used to be in first class back then, which is now what you are called the Premier League now. So things have changed up over the years. And then I played some basketball with the police team. I played with hitters, juniors as a young man.
You played with Spencer Sutton?
No, he was older than I was. So he played on the senior team. I played on the junior team.
Don't make it sound like he's much older than you. He's just a couple of years older than you.
Well, he's a few years older than me. So he was senior when I was junior.
I feel it could be one or two.
Well, you know, I did my thing. I mean, you know, so I did some track and field in Sandy Point High School. So yeah, it was. I had my fun. St. Kitts was fun. I had my fun days back
Right.
then.
You know what I want to add, because I hear you mention police.
Yes.
And, you know, right now, the crime, especially when it comes to young people and black, you know, this is just happening too often. You know, I just want to say condolences to those out there that is in mourning in whatever, anyway.
Sad.
You know, I just want to tell you, stay strong. Yeah, words sometimes not enough, but I just want to send condolences. But I also want to touch on the police, in that you mentioned the police. And you speak about sports. You know, it's funny that you said that, because back in the time, police was so involved. They used to have police queen show.
Yes.
They used to have up by the
Police
complex, the police band.
Yes, police was an integral part of society. I mean, during that time, police, we did a lot of community police. So people knew the policemen that worked in their areas, and yeah, so it was like a relationship. But now if you say police, it's almost like swearing a curse word. So
And that is not nice. So maybe the leadership, because back then, I remember a few commissioners, and it was really back to back, and it was like a lot of locals commissioners, back to back. Things was really happening when it comes to police. Like I said, I had some great time with police fed up there.
I got you.
I
remember those days too.
And I felt safe.
Well, I came up under the tutelage of people like Stanley Franks and Deputy Commissioner Hughes and Mr. Walwyn. Those were the top three guys when I was a young guy. So I'm not discrediting the leadership of the police now, because I think they're probably doing...
Well, I don't even think we should even discredit, but,
Right.
but I'm speaking about the leadership back then.
Well, it was for me.
Right.
It was for me because that was, one of my first jobs, employment.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a young man, things were different. I mean, in terms of the discipline, the way you carry yourself, your mannerisms, the way you approach the public.
And police
police
had
look
looked well together in the uniform.
I was just about to tell you that. For us then, I wouldn't even say it was a competition. It was more of a pride. Because I can tell you this much. When, back in that time, when you get ready for work, you had to look good to go outside on the streets of Bastille. And that time we used to do a lot of foot patrols. So you had no choice. So it was like a camaraderie thing. I want to look better than you, and you want to look better than the other guy. But we all work together. It was just a thing for us to look presentable.
Well, maybe you're correct. I mean, if somebody is looking good and everything, but I also think that is a discipline that comes with law enforcement,
Definitely.
people in uniform,
Definitely.
the military, the respect just for that uniform, the importance of knowing that you're representing the nation.
Definitely.
And you should be a leader. But anyway, it's, you really touch on something just mentioning the police, and I'm just looking at today's time, and I'm not, like I said, here to talk about
Right.
any particular police at this time, but I feel like that should not have gone at all. And leadership plays a role in it. There's a lot of persons that are afraid to maybe imagine they're leading, but afraid to touch something, and I don't think that is a part of leadership. You either can, when it comes to Lavi Gumbs.
I understand what you're saying.
1 second. When it comes to Lavi Gumbs, right? We don't want to overtalk and talk over one another. When it comes to Lavi Gumbs, like I said, their persons will basically try to use their opinion to maybe feel as if like you're going to detour my success, But at the same time, I am very headstrong, and I feel like I'm headstrong in a positive way. I've been told that I'm aggressive, and I take that aggression in a positive way, because nothing wrong in being aggressive, the way how you use your aggression. I am actually assertive, so sometimes we got to be careful when we're saying that people are aggressive. And if somebody is passive or somebody don't talk, don't expect somebody that have energy. I am high energy. You understand? When somebody have energy and positive things to bring, don't shut them down. So, we should welcome persons out there that are passionate. We call it fire.
Fire is burning inside of them.
Absolutely.
I got you. But how your day going anyway?
My day is going good. It's still here on the Real Talk. I started out early. I am a mother for life. I'm about family. I feel like I have been doing quite a lot. I think I mentioned it the first time when a few months ago when I told persons that I am going to be doing cosmetology at HMP. Okay. I really don't come here and say much about it, but I mean, maybe it's time for me to just pat myself on the back and let the whole world know that I am here basically to give back to my country. And give back to my country, non-political, and if it's political, bring it on. But it's supposed to be for the positive. We are also going to have a discussion on, I hope you can join me with that, because we are going to have a discussion on skilled local people that are here in the country and persons that might want to come back and contribute. You said you retire. There's a lot of people who retire and some of them have the opportunity to go probably travel back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a traveling world now. Black people are being tourists now.
Definitely.
You understand?
Definitely.
So I want to bring a topic on the way how we looking at persons that are very highly skilled and in getting them compensated and pay them properly in order to get positive training. But that would be another topic.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
tonight we are speaking about the smoking in business places. How do you feel about the openness of smoking marijuana or cigarette, right? But I think that some people, when they think smoking, they just think marijuana. But we're talking about cigarette smoking, anything to do with smoke that persons can inhale. And well, I feel that it needs boundaries because I've seen where it is too open, where you just walk down the street or even in public places, you see people literally either inside the public place or next to the public place before you're going in, rolling the joints. And I feel like St. Kitts should not be in a place where we don't have any boundaries when it comes to, I hate saying the word ghetto, you know, but we should not let the ghettos just take over. People are people, yes, but let's face it. You go to America because you live in America, and you fully well know that you have the suburbs, you have certain places, and that's exactly why you have high end and certain places. You're not supposed to have certain places, and you're putting all your effort to bring people in a discomfort situation.
So can I say my piece on that?
Well, I actually want you to say your piece for you. I don't really want you to come and combat everything that I say. No, this is my opinion, eh? All right, because I know you well. So go ahead.
What you see? So what I don't want to do tonight is class people that smoke.
But what if I never said that? Would you say that?
No. I'm telling you. You remember you just said is Lavi. So this is me. I'm just saying I don't want.
Yeah, but apart from you, though, let's be real. Let's be realistic because I mean we're here not just about us.
Right.
Real talk is to present the information to the persons out there. So it's, even though we're presenting it, you still got to be realistic.
And I got that. What I'm saying is I don't want to put people in a particular class. And the reason why I'm saying
but
this
did I say anything about class though?
No, this for me.
Okay.
But this is where the real talk gonna be very super.
No. I just gotta make it clear.
I say so. Here's my thing about that. So you just said that there's certain places, like for example in the U.S. And my thing is I wouldn't compare the U.S. to St. Kitts because yes, in the U.S. you have the suburban areas, and then you have the rural areas, and you also have what they quote unquote, let me do my fingers, class as the ghetto areas or the low income areas. That's the best word I'll put it. If something is offensive to the high end areas or the suburbs, it should be offensive also in the low income areas. So I don't feel as though if somebody, okay, let me use myself.
Boy, stop sugarcoating up here. Good evening. Good evening to Mr. Ronaldo Stevens. He's listening down there in St. Croix. I got to say good evening to Molly. He up here about sugarcoating, but he want to something about the U.S. Ghetto is ghetto. I mean, like party be. Outer order, boundaries is boundaries. Let's get to it. Let me listen now. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, so the conversation is about St. Kitts. And yes, we do have a boundary situation here with the smoking. And I understand what you're saying because for the last 33 years, I've been coming back and forth to St. Kitts every time I get a little time off. When I left St. Kitts to go up to do a little schooling, and then I joined the military and, did all my time. So every little break I got, I would come home. But now that I'm retired, this is like my third trip to St. Kitts. But I do understand, I do observe, and I see exactly what you're talking about. Because people will just come. Like I was just at a function the other day. I'm not going to call it the function. And while I'm there, two young men just roll up in there. One had a joint and one had a cigarette. There was an older lady that was sitting next to me, was coughing, let me use the word profusely. That sounds like a word in the English language dictionary. And that was because she apparently has some kind of ailment of of sickness in terms of some kind of congestion in her chest. So that cigarette triggered that lady. I was at that function. And also, recently, one of my aunts passed away. We had to the funeral. And right there by the tombstone, where they're burying my auntie, there was a guy right there sitting on a gravesite, busting he weed right there. So I'm just saying, I understand where you're coming from. But anyway, you know, I gotta be careful.
But no, you don't have to be careful. Just be yourself. But it's a conjunction.
Yeah, very much so.
Right. But I'm just saying, right? Yes, I mentioned America, and I only could mention the places that I really know. But it's not just about America, really.
Yep.
It's about wherever you are. This is St. Kitts. I use America as a reference.
You got it.
And just like how you just talk about you've been to a certain place and XYZ happened, you know, we're talking about people feel that they can just come and because they said, Mavis, you can just come out and smoke your weed anywhere. And I feel that if you have a business, the business owners basically, when they see a situation like that, they should call the law authority because I don't think that if I had a business, especially, not if I have a business because I'm in business, but if I am on the strip, especially in the restaurant, in the touristy areas, and I observe that person is just coming in there being a nuisance, you know, to my customers and is hindering potential customers in my business, that is an issue. And if the issue is because of persons, and of course, it's going to be other issues, but we're speaking about the smoking, where persons are leaving certain places. Why they don't get up since they're so bad, go over Marriott? What do you think going to happen? They will be escorted out. So even though we are saying, well, this is St. Kitts, but, you know, sometimes we try to say that this is St. Kitts for a certain thing, but at the same time, everybody still want to follow the great America, right?
I understand.
But tonight, you're listening to the Real Talk with Lavi. I have here in the studios, Mr. What should I call you, Benji?
Just call me anything you want to call me. Django, Steve, Benji, whatever. Benjamin, Mr.
Well,
Benjamin.
we got to stick to one. Persons out there listening.
Well,
It's
you
not
said-
just you and I here.
Well, the reason why I put it out there because different people know me by different names.
Yeah, but then you cannot just put one. Come on.
Okay, Benjamin then.
All right, thank you.
That's all.
Yeah.
Love you something else.
Yeah, but what you want me to be calling you? This, that, and whatever. Come on.
Hey, so
Yeah.
so
Anyway, let's get back on point. I think you like me or something, no?
Well, you are, you are.
People, he's in his feelings. Let him catch himself.
You're funny. You know, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. All right.
I heard you said something just now.
Listen, read this here.
I heard you said something just now about
the-
is there a law in St. Kitts that says weed is legal?
Read that for so long.
Which one you want me to read?
Just read anything.
Okay. So, I see my uncle post something. Good night, Lavi, Lavi Gumbs. I'm here viewing the program and sounds very interesting. I see you here have my brother, and he's doing a great job. What's up, Uncle Edmead? That's Uncle Denfield for me.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's very, very good.
Yeah.
Right. So what you were saying now?
No, I heard you said prior to you giving me the phone that I if I'm not mistaken, are you saying was cannabis, weed, what we call it, is it legal in St. Kitts? Because I don't think that is what the law had put out.
Listen, you was right here reading whatever. Pull back up your Google and read what you say and don't put me on the spot.
No, I'm just asking because
No, you go and read what you just pull up. Yes. Good evening, caller. If you're on, this is the Real Talk with Lavi. We're speaking about boundaries in St. Kitts and Nevis. We're not telling people they can't smoke the weed, but especially in business places.
Yes, good night, Lavi.
Good night, darling. How are you?
I'm all right. Interesting topic.
Thank
Something
you.
will ruin the fabric of this country, and we have to deal with it in real talk.
Thank you.
You understand?
Yes.
If that guy was a police officer, he should understand that the lawless behavior in his time to this time, man like me jam no way not gonna tolerate this.
There you go.
I smoke marijuana before half of all of these young boys were disrespecting this country with this kind of behavior. I come from federal maple and federal palm. I don't believe Lavi know that. Neither you young officer. I
young.
don't think you know that. You understand? And we have been seen around, especially down Port Zante, in the tourist belt. And you got officials and police is not doing nothing. The only one that's trying to do something is Rose. The rest them, they will just watch the people and disrespect in the country. How dare you could watch people come to your country, lining by a bar, spending the money, supporting locals, supporting the shop, and you just going smoking weed. You don't want them people sick, they got asthma, wherever. It's disrespectful, and a calling and that, you know. A calling and that to straighten this thing, because that ain't what the law intended to do. They say preferential treatment. That I could smoke at home. It's too much blows we get for this thing. What these little boys disrespecting now in a big way. And we're not tolerated. This is Jam Dong talking, Laverne.
Yes, Jam Dong.
I'm afraid none of them.
Yes, Jam Dong.
Who don't like that, bomb that, because they're going to hear me live anyway, talking on these issues.
Yes.
You can't want these business places and going in them. Like the other day, we're going to pay me mother house and tax. And one in the line, one going and spliffing him out. That's about a fucking great. Excuse me. Laverne.
Yes, okay. He was getting very emotional, and I apologize for Jamdong and to basically using that infinity, but I must honestly say, it happened to the best of us. He's not perfect, and I feel exactly where he was coming from. I hope persons will not just stray on that, what he have said, but listen to the positive that he's saying. We need boundaries right here in St. Kitts and Nevis when it comes to smoking. And, you know, as Mr. Benjamin, he was a police, and he fully well know we can dodge around it. And we should not just be basically making things comfortable in our federation and across the Caribbean just for tourists. It's supposed to be for anyone. You understand? Because if we don't have boundaries, then we're going to have issues. And we're going to have major issues. Because with these lawless boundaries, it's going to bring crime. It's going to bring a certain set of people. I am not talking about classing anybody like what Mr. Benjamin said. I am basically letting people know that when you go to America, and in America, it has the same thing here in St. Kitts. We have suburban places here. You have, like, for instance, over at Frigate Bay on the peninsula, certain places back in the days, you have rural areas versus some other, areas that one will expect a certain type of behavior. We're not excluding anybody because this is modern days and people have the right to live wherever they want, do whatever they want. However, if it's something that is going to inflict upon others' health, then that is an issue.
Okay, so I understand where Mr. Jamdown is coming from, and I respect his opinions. Here's my take. Apparently last year, I'm looking at something, there was a smoking, a bill that was passed in 2023 for designated areas. Are you aware of that?
I ain't come here to talk about the bill.
But we're talking about smoking, Lavi.
Right, but the bill done passed. I just want to go on and basically give your input. I mean,
yes.
The guy that just called in, he very much well said, right, that he's calling upon the AG to basically come and do something in terms of the regulation, because I am quite sure that the AG, nobody had intended that when they said that to open, make marijuana smoking legal, it was intended for that kind of lawless kind of way. So the caller, his opinion was well valid. Yeah. I am not here to go back and talk about his opinion or whatever. We just need give your opinion, bring your own ideas.
No, what I'm saying is, in a situation like that, if people are just openly smoking, and the bill was passed for people to have designated areas to smoke. So if people are violating that bill, something needs to be done.
But didn't you just said that you went to a place,
yes,
and you see these people coming? So you know that these things is happening. Would you like to have a restaurant and basically your restaurant isn't you're out of control because you cannot stop these people from coming there because, as you said, there's no class, there's no discrimination, blah blah blah. Like, really, it's a matter of customer service,
And I get that.
no one customer should make anyone feel uncomfortable.
And I respect what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, if they put this bill in place, it needs to be implemented by the appropriate authorities then. Like he said, there was some officer named Rouse he mentioned. She's the only one he have seen.
But what if he never said that? Feed upon you. I mean, like,
but if I had the situation, if I was in charge of a situation like that,
right? Let us
and
know
I
what
see-
would you do?
I definitely, because of my background, I would deal with that situation there and then. I mean, if we having young people just doing as they like, smoking, rolling, whatever they're doing. I mean, something needs to be done. I understand you have to respect people because you don't know who you're next to when you're rolling up your spliff for smoking cigarettes. It could cause problems to people.
Someone is saying, good evening to your cousin, Judy Terrell. She's saying the law says smoke in privacy of your home. That is what the law said.
And I have no problem with that. What I'm saying, I just said it. If people are violating the law that was put in place.
Not people are violating it. They are violating it. Stop back around.
No.
I mean,
What I'm saying,
this is real talk.
I-
They're violating these things here.
Okay, so what I'm
I
saying.
kind of in my feelings now, because this man's supposed to be a policeman,
Hey,
eh? So man,
hey,
he's like
look,
he protecting them.
I'm not protecting. What I'm saying is.
If we don't have any control.
Yes.
If we don't have any control in our country when it comes to boundaries, we're going to lose, you understand, when it comes to customer service, because it's affecting, as much as St. Kitts is going, we need to have a grip on our people when it comes to customer service and respecting law and order.
And Lavi, I am for that all day, every day, 24/7, 44/14. What I'm saying is this. If the law is there, and the appropriate people see certain people violating the law, they should take action into their hands.
Okay, so
so you have to make an example of one or two people.
And that is so true.
Okay,
But at the
that's
same
my point.
time, your point is taken. At the same time, right? This has been going on for so long, and I am very amazed when it comes to the police force here in St. Kitts and Nevis, how they I don't want to say afraid. I may be afraid. Because there's certain things that needs, literally like what I am seeing, you mean to tell me that they don't see? Like, for instance, you go across Pan Road. And when you go across Pan Road, a certain time in the night, on the sidewalk, a bunch of females on the side, sitting like they basically, when you're out on your veranda, and that's supposed to be a sidewalk. And I spoke to an officer, and an officer said, well, they can't do anything because there's no proof that these people out there doing illegal prostitution.
Okay.
However, right?
However,
it might not be any proof. But what about the sidewalk where persons are loitering? Do you know if there was maybe the people that they consider as gangs was there? I'm sure the police will not break up that long time. And I have a problem with persons are coming in St. Kitts and bringing their culture. We don't have any boundaries. And if we do have boundaries, a lot of these things will not happen because you fully well know. You and I go right now into a white town in America in a particular vehicle, right? At some point in time, you might get pulled over.
Definitely.
One would say it's discrimination.
Right.
But sometimes it's good to just ask a question. Who are these strangers in our land?
Yes, I understand.
But and I don't want you to quote me because I say, who are these strangers in my land? I would just try in a reference, please.
Yes.
Right? So let us have a discussion. You come here, I want to see what you bring in terms of with the smoking here in St. Kitts and Nevis. It is happening. You did talk about the police, yes, right? But like I said, it's affecting the tourists. How do you feel about that?
It's affecting the tourists?
Yes.
Is there data to prove and show that?
Come on.
Lavi, we talking.
No, this is not real talk.
This is real talk.
No, this is not the kind of real talk.
Yes, I'm asking. There's a reason why I'm asking you these questions.
But what are you going to ask me?
Okay, we are talking about smoking that are affecting not just the tourists, but about the people that's from here, that lives here. I can't deal with people that smoke.
Didn't I
Okay.
said that before?
Yeah, but
You need not to be objective and let's carry on the show and present the show. It's not
but
about us.
no,
Because you're going back and forth with what I said. I want you to give your ideas. Don't just wait because I said something. You tick for tat. It's a discussion.
We're talking about smoking in, which is having the situation of boundary situation. That is where we at. Hold on, let me address one thing. You said to me, you just said earlier online that there's a group of people somewhere in Newtown. Are they out there smoking? Because
I say that?
No,
I did not say that, though.
Okay. What I'm saying is, but you said if there was gangs out there, the police would have done roll up.
Yeah, but then you mentioned in Newtown name, but I did not mention.
So here's my
I
thing.
think you're straying away from the topic.
No.
You are straying away from the topic because you come in here. This is not like the other shows. You need to present. This is an informative show, not an argumentative show. So you need to present, like I said, we are facing a major situation in St. Kitts where persons, and you heard the young man just call a while ago.
Yes,
he even got in his feeling where he was verbally, an adjective came out because he is upset. He just talked about Port Zante and how the smoking down there affecting where people just coming up and rolling these things. These things cannot be right.
Lavi, I agree with you wholeheartedly. What I'm saying is, my thing is not to object everything you're saying. What I'm saying, listen to me.
I want to hear your ideas where you're
Why, if somebody is violating the law, and this is from experience, if somebody is violating the law, we are the people to implement that.
Okay.
And to enforce the law.
Yeah, right.
So if people are smoking in public or in places that shouldn't be smoking, that's something that should be dealt with. I'm not at liberty to come here and be an expert about that right at this very moment.
I think what you're saying, right, is about the people to do whatever. When the time comes, I will bring that person. So stop trying to do your policing. Right now, just present what is happening because you basically, we are the people and whatever. We are the people with the real talk. And this is what we're bringing to the public to let the public know that this is an issue. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm with you, I'm with you. And this is an interesting conversation, but I have to keep it open.
Someone is saying good night to your guests.
Who's that?
Just say
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is St. Kitts and Nevis. You're on the Real Talk with Lavi. As you know, I am a very strong woman. And I am accustomed of having conversations. I don't do the debates well because this show is it don't really need any debating. We basically bring in the stuff that is happening right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I think that sometimes some people are accustomed of attacking and in the feelings and debating and in the debates, right? That they don't even know, well, listen, I'm not a politician. Let us bring the real talk. Let us bring constructive matters that is happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis because it is an informative. So we're informing the people out there. This is not for me and you to say, well, where the police, where the this, where the that. They're listening.
Well, so Lavi, if you're a violator of the law and you keep doing it, what do you think the people are going to say? Lavi keep doing it, where the police ain't locked up yet. You want me to talk like I'm from St. Kitts? So how come she ain't got locked up yet? If people are violating by smoking in places that they shouldn't be smoking, that's the point I've been trying to say for the whole 15 minutes. We are the people to enforce the law, to lock them behind up.
Right. And you're just saying it over and over and over and over.
No, but I have to...
But I just want you to know, like I said, right? Even before, as somebody said, they actually said it on this thread tonight. They said that the smoking is saying that smoke in a private area. You understand? And I am appealing, as Mr. Benjamin said, where are the police? Where are the law? Because if persons are smoking and the police, I don't want to say that they know about it, but you're hearing it on the Real Talk now, that it is not good.
And I understand and I respect what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you're saying in Port Zante, that's the central area where the tourist comes in. There's a major problem down there.
Stop telling me. Stop telling me what I'm saying. You need to stop. Listen, you're not a stranger. I don't care where you're from. You're acting like if I'm saying kids.
No,
So
I'm
with
from
what?
St. Kitts.
Well, act like if I'm saying kids,
Okay.
man.
But
and like you want me to say, well, this happened, and then you just reiterate from what I said.
No, Lavi, what I'm saying is I have not had the experience yet.
But you just say you went to
No,
some kind of
no.
function, and you see people came in.
Yes. But we're talking about the tourist part that's affecting our
No,
tourists.
no.
But that's me. I want to talk about that. So if the tourists are coming and we have people that's violating in Port Zante, the question that's a busy area. That's a central
Ain't
area.
just tourists down there. You just fully well said that we ain't just have tourists. We have locals. We have locals. The smoking is affecting people's health. The smoking, just casually going by these bars and feel like you can go and light up your spliff and those kind of things, the police should crack down on them. And this is what I'm saying.
Well, the owners also should have the ordinance thing posted as well. No smoking in my establishment. Those things should happen as well. There should be posted signs for if you have owns a business. If I own a business and I don't want to tolerate smoking, that's one thing I would propose.
This is affecting the country.
Wow.
You understand? And even when the tourists and even the local, it's going to affect everyone. Because, we cannot have St. Kitts and Nevis, like I said, everybody wants to come to St. Kitts. Everybody wants to come to St. Kitts. Arabs, Europeans, Canadians, Americans, Caribbeans, they want to come to St. Kitts. Africans, St. Kitts nice.
It's very nice.
A lot of people don't know the value of St. Kitts. And we need to have some law that basically going to embrace that when they see these people out there doing these lawless acts, you're either going to act upon it or take off your uniform. Take your uniform and hand it back in.
Easy.
You mean I'm not easy?
But Lavi, I feel your sentiment. I'm not.
I don't want you to feel my sentiment. I want you to add to the sentiment.
I feel it's.
Up to now, you're adding to the sentiment,
Lavi, I am trying to be as constructive as I can. But you
you're intimidated by me?
No. What happens is when you're doing certain
This
things.
not your strong point. But speak about your strong points then.
It's not about strong or weak. What we're doing is we have to keep things within policy. And listen, I hear what you're saying in terms of the cigarettes, the weed, I don't
want you to hear what I'm saying. I am speaking. The people out there can hear what I'm saying. You add to the people. Because something, if you was out there listening, we sound like a bag of people in it, in a pig pen.
That is not true.
Yeah, because that's how we sound. You need to add to the show.
I am adding to the show, but Lavi, what I have to be, I
think you would do better with the politics. I need to bring you on a politics. Politics
I'm not a politician.
But you sound like one.
No, I'm not. No, but we just have to keep it square and fair though. I trust me.
What's square and fair? What is square and fair?
Lavi, you're a beautiful host. This is your show. What I'm saying is your topic is a very interesting topic. When it comes
it's not about my topic. You come here to add to the topic, but you're contradicting to everything.
No, I'm not. What I'm trying to say, there's laws and rules for everything.
Okay, and we know about that.
Listen,
give me 1 second.
Go ahead.
Good evening. If you're listening to us right now, this is Real Talk with Lavi. And tonight I have this in the studios with me, Mr. Benjamin. And as you know, this is the Real Talk. I am the host. This is not just my show. This show, persons that know Lavi very well will know that I bring the real issues. And it seemed like Mr. Benjamin is one of those men that like to, especially me as a woman, he wants to challenge, but there's no challenge.
No.
We're welcoming people to call in and weigh in on what is affecting us here in St. Kitts and Nevis, because Mr. Benjamin seemed to basically listen in everything I said word for word, and I'm still waiting for him to bring his ideas, be positive on this serious issue, because for me to be up here and basically talking about the smoking, I'm not going to be coming and talking about something with an if and a but. It is happening in our eyes. And if this man want to feel like he playing a blind eye or the law is, he fully well know in America, he goes into a place to eat, there's no one in there rolling up no spliff. And that is what I wanted to speak about. He just talking about the police and the this and the that. The police are not there. When the police come on my show, they will have a chance to basically tell us, or they will be listening and recognizing that we are bringing what the people are saying and they need to address it.
So, Lavi, you're telling me in the United States, when you go to establishment, when you go to some of these establishments, there's zones in some of these places says smoking and no smoking. You're aware that you've been to America 100 times, isn't it? So why is the same implementation can't happen here in St. Kitts? I'm just asking. I'm not here to challenge you. I'm just bringing
you're
things
not challenge me, but
right.
you're
I'm
not-
just bringing
you're not
things
really-
forward. I'm bringing things forward because it's a simple solution to this topic. I understand what you're saying. It affects me just as much as it affects you. I wouldn't want to be in some place having dinner on a date and somebody just come next to me and smoking their weed or their cigarettes.
Okay, so why didn't you just say that?
But Lavi, it has to take you know it's like the alphabet. You start from A, you can't jump all the way down to Z. You understand?
You know what I see?
I'm not a politician.
You know what I see happening, folks?
What's going on here, Lavi?
I see, right, that, and I'm going to say it. I think what is happening, there's a lot of men in law enforcement, and some of them don't know how to come out of law enforcement. And you probably seem to be one of those persons that you have been in law enforcement so long, right, that sometimes you kind of see the fine line to not basically like defend or attack, than basically like bring your ideas. This is what real talk is about.
Well, yes, and nothing is wrong with being real, and nothing is wrong with having a real talk. But you also have to be take things realistically as well, and that's what the laws are there for. And I hear exactly everything you're saying tonight. I am actually on your side, General Laverne.
But you know, I brought you here, right, is to have a conversation, not just to hear what I said, because my show is not just about us. Persons out there listening, and they want us to give them the information. They want us to basically, like I said, bring the information out for them to say, yes, it's long time they should speak on something like this. But not for me to be up here talking about smoking in St. Kitts that is affecting people, and then we out there defending the smoke. You know, there's boundaries, and we should have boundaries. Just like how we shouldn't have people walking in no stores with the barefoot or without any shirt or
Okay.
just in bathing suits and those kind of things. It's all about boundaries.
Okay.
It's boundaries. And if we don't have any boundaries in St. Kitts and Nevis, we're going to destroy our country. We're going to destroy everything that we're working so hard at to be number one in the Federation.
So boundaries is a very broad and a very broad-based topic as well, because if we're going to talk about boundaries, we have to talk about customer service. It can't just be about cigarette smoking. It got to be about manners in the church.
Did I tell you?
Did
I tell you boundaries must be on cigarette
No,
smoking?
but you see, I'm just bringing. You say I've been in law enforcement too long, so I'm trying to make it. I'm just trying to generalize the conversation.
Stop trying to do it and be yourself.
Well, I'm being myself though.
Boundaries is boundaries. It
What?
doesn't matter what boundaries. Boundaries
Okay.
is basically having respect for
other
people.
right. So all right. So if I'm in the line in the bank standing up and a lady pinch me on my butt, is that not violating my space? Wouldn't you consider that boundary?
Listen,
Yes or no?
No, I ain't going to know yes or no. I want you to present to the people. That's what real talk is about, information. I'm not going to go to no law. I'm not in any I'm not going to do this law thing. Like, you know, you go on to court and whatever. No. Anyway, good evening, folks. Once again, this is the Real Talk. And I am here to basically talk about some of the lawless thing that is happening in St. Kitts and Nevis. And we basically need to crack down on top of it. The law enforcement need to enforce that we have some boundaries. You walk in the street of Bastille, beautiful 4th Street. And what we're going to see, people just there just like that. So they're doing what? Just rolling up the spliff? And I guess my sidekick is going to tell me, well, you can't put people in class. It's not about putting people in no class. It's about having some respect in our places. Because, like I said, if our locals don't have a problem with it, then we're going to have a problem with the foreigners that we're trying to attract here. If we want to move St. Kitts on a high-end level, then we need to have some discipline in this country. So if we're going to say smoking, marijuana, and you can just come and roll up your spliff anywhere in the street. You can go across, like I said, on Pond Road and different parts of St. Kitts on the sidewalk. A bunch of females, they come out at a certain time, dressed in a certain type of clothing, and nobody gonna say nothing about it because they're liming. Well, what if it was a bunch of men? This is the Real Talk once again with Lavi Gumbs, 98.9 WINN FM.
Well, I'm confident that the new leadership in the police department is going to work on tapering a lot of these situations that we have in. So if the cigarette and weed smoking that's messing with people in certain establishments, I would probably put my neck on the block that the new the leadership in the police department is going to clean that up. Everything takes time.
Everything takes time. This has been going on for quite a while. The country has been open up going on 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
The country has been going almost 3 years since the country has been open up, and somebody is saying, officers, can you read this, what this person said? Let me see right here. Where did I lost it? All right.
Let me see what the person said. Okay, it's affecting the country and tourists. Okay, the bar owners and are encouraging it. So that's why I talk about the sign. Hold on, let me go down further. Lavi, a gentleman was into the Chinese restaurant at the Bayside Smoke until a fight broke out where the owner asked him to leave the place. Yeah, and those texts are in conjunction to what we've been saying tonight.
Someone else, good evening to Shower Queen, and I appreciate this comment from Shower. I appreciate everyone that is making your contribution here this evening. The folks that are listening, thank you so much.